Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Michael Germain in for Dilla.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is Monday, September 18th, 2023. Derek, what can we expect in terms of temperatures throughout this week?
Sure, yeah, it's a little cool outside this morning, and we're going to be looking at our highs a little bit on the seasonal side this afternoon, so that's the good news. And we're only going to get warmer too, Michael, as a matter of fact, by the time we reach the next couple of days. We'll get to that in a second. Current temperatures right now, 40s and 50s across the board. Sparta right now, you're a little bit colder than the rest of us. In fact, much colder right now at 38 degrees for you. Today's planner calling for a mostly sunny day. Temperatures in the 50s to start, warming up into the 60s by 11. We got afternoon highs today that are going to climb into the 70s for the most part come this afternoon with a light south wind at 5 to 10. Your dog walking conditions today, mostly sunny to start, sunshine this afternoon, mostly sunny here as we head into this evening, so good walking conditions for you and your furry friend. Your allergy report is high, unfortunately, for everything, and the ragweed flourished in the U.S. when more grounds were disturbed during the westward expansion of that. And we got the same forecast in store as we head into the day tomorrow with the weed, ragweed, and mold all still looking very high. Now stay tuned, I'll have a check on your schoolcast, plus your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes. I'll let you know if we could have any more rain chances or if things may look pretty dry here for a while. That and more in just a bit. Michael?
Thanks, Derek. Let's get to some news this morning. A man has been arrested in Trumbull County following separate hit-and-run incidents. Police were dispatched to Welcome Bar in Independence at around 2 a.m. Saturday for a hit-and-run. While units responded, other calls came in that the person who allegedly committed the crime returned to the scene and hit a person in the roadway before fleeing again. That's according to a release from the Trumbull County Sheriff's Office. Callers also told law enforcement that the person came back a third time, this time with a gun. Deputies were able to arrest the man, but they didn't find a gun. 2 people were sent to the hospital to treat injuries. The incident is still under further investigation. Crawford County is now under a special fire order due to drought conditions. That's according to the Wisconsin DNR. A burn permit is now required for burning in a barrel, debris pile, as well as grassy and wooded areas, unless the ground is fully covered in snow. The DNR says the decision was made based on the lengthy extreme drought conditions in the area. The order goes into effect beginning today. Crawford County residents can apply for a permit online. We'll post a link on our website, news8000.com. September is National Recovery Month. It celebrates the recovery process for everyone who sustains from substance abuse disorder. The Coulee region has a lot of programs for those in recovery and those still suffering addiction. One of the most recent additions to these programs is the medicine naloxone, becoming available in drugstores. Naloxone is given to people that are suspected of overdosing from an opioid such as heroin or fentanyl. It temporarily reverses the effects of an overdose. But an emergency physician at Gunderson Health System warns that naloxone is only a stopgap, not a cure.
But it's not a fix for the whole problem that we're having. You know, this is a temporary fix to get them through that crisis, but we need to get these patients into treatment and counseling and therapy to get them over the addiction.
Dr. Eberling says the best thing to do if you encounter someone you suspect is overdosing is to call 911, give them naloxone, and start doing rescue breaths. La Crosse's mayor can add another title to his resume. He now has a leadership role with a group of Mississippi Valley mayors. The Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative had held its annual meeting. During the meeting, Mayor Mitch Reynolds was selected as a co-chair of the organization. The group focuses on improving cities and towns along the river. 104 mayors from cities in all 10 states along the Mississippi are members of the organization. This week's meeting included reports on issues like plastic pollution in the Mississippi. This weekend, Jewish people in La Crosse and around celebrated Rosh Hashanah, known as the Jewish New Year. It begins at sundown and starts the High Holy Days, one of the most religious times for Jewish people. It's a way for them to start over and connect with God in their community. The holiday begins the 10 days of repentance when Jewish people seek forgiveness and mercy. Rabbi Brian Surley says how Congregation Sons of Abraham is celebrating the holiday.
We have an evening service that begins at sundown, It's group prayer. We have a lot of readings in English as well as in Hebrew, and people sing along, especially with the songs that they know. And we want them to walk away feeling that there's some positivity.
The synagogue also held services Sunday. The 10 days of repentance go until Yom Kippur, the holiday of the Jewish calendar. Services will be held at Congregation Sons of Abraham for both holidays. People in La Crosse laced up their sneakers to end Alzheimer's. Over 400 people walked throughout Riverside Park in the 2023 Walk to End Alzheimer's. Every year, the walk honors people living with Alzheimer's. The money goes towards research and funding to try to find a cure. The UW La Crosse Marching Band, Onalaska Volleyball Team, and La Crosse Health Science Academy cheered on walkers. One woman participated with her husband who has Alzheimer's. She says you can still enjoy life even if you or someone you know is impacted.
I just want people to realize that once you get the diagnosis, or you're thinking you may have a loved one with the diagnosis, your life doesn't come to an end. You can still be engaged in the community. You can still have purpose of life.
Last year, the walk raised $80,000. The Alzheimer's Association is hoping to beat that record this year. The organization will also honor the teams who raised money on November 9th at the waterfront. Oktoberfest is only a couple of weeks away, and 2023's Miss Oktoberfest has been revealed. Regina Siegel was selected for the title this year. The wife of the La Crosse County Sheriff and a former Emerson Elementary principal, Siegel learned she would be given the title back in April. Her focus is be kind always, a philosophy she says she learned as a child. She explained what she's looking forward to this year.
There's not a single part of Oktoberfest that I don't love. I love watching the food eating contest. I love watching the different games that we do, the Lederhosen games and all of those pieces. I love the merriment. I love the festivities.
Oktoberfest begins Thursday, September 28th at the Fest Grounds on the waterfront. Tractor trailers, a school bus, even a Zamboni took over the Omni Center parking lot for Touch a Truck. Since 2021, Onalaska's Parks and Recreation Department has been holding the event. Each year it teaches kids what different agencies and companies do every day. It also connects families with different businesses. Onalaska Police, Onalaska Fire and Rescue, and the U.S. Postal Service displayed their vehicles. The event also helps people who are fighting hunger.
We do also collect non-perishable food donations for the Onalaska Food Pantry, which is a great way also to get involved in the community. So we'll be back next September.
Between 1,200 and 1,500 people attended. The Onalaska Parks and Recreation Department hopes to see families again next month at the Halloween Bash. This weekend was the 75th Apple Fest. The festival may have ended, but not before the King Apple Parade took over La Crescent. It was the last big event of the fest, and it's always a crowd pleaser. One onlooker says watching the parade has become a tradition for her family.
We have lived here for 35 plus years. We come every year. We love the Apple Fest parade. It's very family oriented, which we like.
Brunk added that her favorite part of the parade is watching the little kids run after candy. If you missed the parade, don't worry. Oktoberfest kicks off in less than 2 weeks with their Torchlight Parade happening on Thursday, September 28th. A local distillery is celebrating a milestone. La Crosse Distilling Company celebrated 5 years of business this weekend. To commemorate the anniversary, the distillery released its Bluffside Apple Brandy. It took owner Nick Weber 5 years to first get the distillery up and running. After seeing the trends in breweries and what small organic farmers were doing to find success, Weber decided to open a distillery. It's the first distillery in La Crosse. The distillery also has a restaurant, but marketing director Angie Weber says it's the spirits they make that have them brought their success.
A large part of why we've lasted 5 years is also, it's not just the restaurant tasting room part of our business, it's the distillery. Obviously, people in the La Crosse area come down to the distillery to enjoy food and drinks, but we are celebrating our 5-year anniversary in large part because of our distilling business.
Weber and her husband aren't slowing down. The couple is looking into exporting their spirits. Happening today, celebrating Hispanic history in Wisconsin. From 8 to 10 this morning, UWL professor Victor Gonzalez will present Wisconsin's Latino past and present. The lecture covers the history of Latinos in the state and issues they are currently facing. The talk is a part of UWL's celebration of National Hispanic Heritage Month, which runs from September 15th to October 15th. The event is free and open to the public. It will be held at the Bluffs Room at UWL's Student Union. Still ahead on your morning news, Generac is recalling 64,000 of their generators. We'll have the reason why and how you can get them fixed when we return. And an Iowa hospital is warning parents of an increase in non-compliant car seats. We'll take a look at some car seat red flags that parents should be on for the lookout for. That and much more coming up this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. You've heard of a study in scarlet. Now get ready for a mystery in magenta. A pink pigeon in England has been baffling people with its colorful appearance. The bird has been spotted in the Manchester area numerous times since early September. Locals and social media users alike have expressed bafflement over the pigeon's appearance. According to the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, the color is non-natural. That means someone dyed the bird, but the question remains, why? Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Our current temperatures, as you head outside, are mainly into the 40s and the low 50s. 50 in La Crosse, 53 in Eau Claire, and temperatures to the west in Winona currently at 50. Sparta's at 41 degrees. Prairie du Chien at 45. Your zone forecast today going to be looking at highs near seasonable, with highs reaching the mid-70s in La Crosse County today. 75 in Minduro, 74 though in Middle Ridge, 75 in both Onalaska and La Crosse. Heading to our southern communities, mid-70s today here, with highs around 73 though in both Viroqua and Westby, and warmer everywhere else. As we head into our central zones, we're looking at highs around 75 in Melrose today and 76 in Trempealeau. Meanwhile, in the Chippewa Valley, Eau Claire, you're looking at highs around 74 degrees. Your bus stop forecast this morning calls for temperatures to be at 51 under mostly sunny skies. Heading back home today, 74 degrees, mostly sunny for the afternoon. Now stay tuned. I'll have a check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes.
In your consumer news this morning, the state of California is suing 5 oil companies, saying they systematically deceived the public about the danger of fossil fuels. The suit, which was filed in the San Francisco Superior Court, alleges that the oil companies have caused tens of billions of dollars of damage. ExxonMobil, Shell, BP, and Chevron are all named in the suit. The American Petroleum Institute is also a defendant. A major manufacturer based in Wisconsin is issuing a large-scale recall of its portable generators. Fortune 1000 company Generac has recalled 64,000 portable generators. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, the generators pose a fire risk. The commission also recommends anyone who owns one of the recalled generators to stop using them and contact the company for a free repair kit. The Biden administration is moving to strengthen job protections for government workers. The president has proposed the rule through the Office of Personnel Management. It would apply to a 2.2 million federal workers who hold non-political roles within the government. The proposed rule comes as several Republican presidential candidates have declared their intention to trim the federal workforce if elected to the Oval Office. An Iowa hospital is warning parents of an increase in non-compliant child car seats being sold in the U.S. Ophelia Jacobson explains some of the red flags that parents should be looking out for when buying their kids' car seats.
Teresa Herrera knows a thing or two about car seats. The mother of 4 with one on the way isn't taking any chances when it comes to her kids' safety. That's why she's getting her car seats checked by the experts.
Expecting a new one, and I wanted to make sure that my 3-year-old was safely strapped in her car seat.
But now there's a new danger on the road for her to worry about.
I never thought you could actually get a fake car seat.
Buying a fake or non-compliant car seat.
So we kind of have this twofold problem right now.
Blank Children's Hospital says the problem is becoming more common.
We are seeing more and more counterfeit car seats coming in.
Jana Day says there are clear red flags to look for when shopping for a car seat.
If you're finding a really good deal, it might be a red flag that it's in fact a counterfeit seat.
Other signs that the car seat may not be legit or up to federal standards.
This is a non-compliant seat that actually came in through our maternity center.
There's no chest clip and the harness straps are thin or narrow. And there aren't a lot of labels, nor is it from a well-known manufacturer.
The manufacturers have not crash tested those car seats. They don't even have a manufacturer, so they do not pass crash testing standards in the U.S.
The Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau says there are almost 450 certified child passenger safety technicians in Iowa. Money from the Department of Public Safety helps places like Blank Children's Hospital offer free car seat checks by appointment all week long.
I think it's very important to have your car seat checked before you come to the hospital to deliver, and anytime at any age, have your car seat checked by a certified child passenger safety technician here in Iowa.
So mothers like Herrera can feel confident.
Be more aware, I guess, now that I know that there's actually fake car seats out there.
Knowing her kids are safe behind her.
To see if your child's car seat has been recalled or to find a certified child passenger safety technician, you can visit the Safe Kids worldwide website at safekids.org. That's it for your morning consumer news. Let's check in with Derek and today's forecast.
All right, thanks so much for that, Michael. We're starting off on a partly cloudy note here across City Cam 8 and downtown La Crosse, as you can see there behind me. And now we're going to be looking at temperatures here warming their way up into the 70s later today. But right now, we're currently at 50 degrees with southeast winds at around 5 miles an hour. Our river stage is currently at 4.94 feet, and that's holding steady along the Mississippi. Meanwhile, if you're in Eau Claire, mostly clear skies, 53 for you for your temperature. East-southeast winds light at around 6 miles an hour. Temperatures across the board right now into the 40s and low 50s. 50 degrees currently in Viroqua. 52, however, in Winona, and 47 Black River Falls. Sparta's currently at 41 degrees, Bosqueville at 48. And as we take a look at your planner, we are going to be turning mostly sunny between now and through much of the afternoon hours today, with high temperatures expected to reach the mid-70s this afternoon. And both Eau Claire and La Crosse, in fact, we're expecting highs to be around 75. And the same can be said here in Black River Falls. It'll be 73 today in Viroqua, 74 this afternoon in Sparta. So again, some passing clouds, partly cloudy conditions right now on the satellite and radar, and we're going to continue this way through at least the mid to late morning hours in some spots, and the rest of us turn mostly sunny by the early afternoon hours here today. Here 6 o'clock this evening, and you can see our winds coming up from the southeast. A few clouds here mainly to the west. Some clouds increase though from the west here as well. Watching a disturbance that could bring showers and thunderstorms, mainly focused to the south. That's where the better chances will be here for tonight, while the rest of us will be pretty dry, and some clouds here as we head into tomorrow afternoon, with that southerly wind breeze here picking up here as well. Decreasing clouds expected heading into tomorrow night, and a little bit of fog, maybe some clouds here as we head into Wednesday morning. And we're watching a frontal boundary, a warm front that's going to move in here as we head into later Wednesday. That could help warm up our temperatures here as we head towards midweek, along with some partly cloudy conditions. Starting Wednesday through Friday, those highs pick up into the low 80s. I'm watching for a chance of showers and thunderstorms, though, as we head into this weekend and also into early next week on Monday, with highs mainly, again, 70s and 80s for the most part, low temperatures in the 50s and low 60s. All right, stay with us. We're back with much more news and weather still to come on News 8 Now this morning. For now, we're sending you to break with a look what happened on this day in history for September 18th. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers went into yesterday's game with no Christian Watson, no Aaron Jones, and no David Bakhtiari. So a little uphill battle on the road. Let's go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Packers taking on the Falcons. Slow start for the Green Bay offense. Third drive of the game. 3rd and 1. Love finds the rookie tight end Luke Musgrave. He's got the first down and more. Later in the drive, Love with a shuffle pass to Jaden Reed, and Reed has the corner. He's going to find the end zone for the touchdown. The rookie's coming up big for the Green Bay offense. Second half now. Love Play action has some time, and he's going to go to another rookie, Dontavian Wicks, who breaks a tackle. Nobody's going to catch him. Another touchdown from a Green Bay rookie. Pack goes up 8. Then, after a Falcon field goal, Love finds Reed wide open. He's going to score for the second time today. Packers go up 12, but things would fall apart. Falcons on 4th down, and Desmond Ridder keeps it himself for the score. It's a 5-point game. How does Green Bay respond? Love to the sideline, nearly intercepted. Packers go 3 and out. Falcons knock down the 39-yard field goal. It's now just a 2-point game. Next, Packers drive 3rd and 1, and A.J. Dillon stuffed at the line. Green Bay turns the ball over again. 2 minutes to go, 4th and inches for Atlanta, and Bijan Robinson picks up the first down, and with under a minute to go, they kick the go-ahead field goal. Packers now trail. One last chance, 4th and 10, Love connecting with Samori Toure. At least they thought it was a connection. After a booth review, it's ruled incomplete. Falcons win 25-24. Packers offense was just bad in that 4th quarter.
You know, I think it just comes down to execution and being better in the 4th quarter and being able to play a full game. And I think we didn't execute well enough in the 4th quarter. Weren't able to move the ball and convert 3rd down, so that's really what hurt us.
Obviously very disappointed that when you have a 12-point lead in the second half and you don't make the plays that and don't play complementary football, and then when you have mistakes, all those get magnified.
Love finishes the day just 14 of 25 for 151 yards, but let's cut him some slack. He was without Christian Watson for the 2nd straight week, and arguably the team's best offensive weapon in Aaron Jones. So hopefully when those two come back, we can see what this Packers offense looks like at full strength. Packers are at home next week against the Saints. How about some college volleyball? Last night, the #1 team in the country, the Wisconsin Badgers, were on the road against the Florida Gators. Florida took set 1, and then in set 2 on match point, Carter Booth stuffed at the net by the Gator defense. Florida takes set 2 as well. But here come the Badgers. First set point of the day for Wisconsin, and Anna Smrek on the outside, picture-perfect spot. Badgers coming back. Set 4, set point again for Wisconsin. Smrek stuffed at the net, but stays with it, gets the kill. We're all even at 2. Set 5, and keep your eye on Smrek. She's gonna go sky high. Nobody's gonna stop that kill. Badgers get to match point as they would complete the comeback and show why they're the best team in the country. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
The United Auto Workers strike enters day 4 as talks are set to continue with one of the big 3 automakers, Stellantis, today. Thousands of workers walked off the job at 3 assembly plants Friday after the contract lapsed. As CBS News correspondent Ian Lee reports, the impacts of the strike are being felt in the auto industry, and there are worries that those impacts could trickle down to Main Street.
Top Democrats came to Michigan to show solidarity with striking auto workers over the weekend.
We're going to be in this fight with you until we win the fight.
That's right. Thousands of United Auto Workers members at a Ford plant in Michigan, a Stellantis plant in Ohio, and a General Motors factory in Missouri walked off the job Friday at midnight after their contract expired. The union said negotiations with Ford on Saturday were productive, and talks with Stellantis are expected to take place today. Neither side commented on how talks with General Motors went over the weekend.
Our demands are just, we're asking for our fair share in this economy and the fruits of our labor.
The UAW is demanding at least a 36% raise, cost of living and job protections, as well as an unwinding of concessions made during the Great Recession. Currently, automakers are only offering a raise of about 20%.
We're at the table now, ready to keep going and get this resolved as quickly as possible.
Local car dealers are concerned about the impact of a prolonged strike.
The likelihood of prices going up should this strike linger are almost certain.
Already, the strike has caused Ford to temporarily lay off 600 non-striking workers at the Wayne, Michigan plant.
Experts say due to existing inventory, it could be weeks before consumers feel the impact of the strike on their ability to buy a car. President Biden has sent administration officials to Detroit to assist with contract negotiations. A Wisconsin man has pleaded guilty to a federal assault charge for pepper spraying police at the U.S. Capitol on January 6. 24-year-old Riley Casper of Pulaski was charged back in March 2022 with counts of assaulting an officer, disorderly conduct, and entering a restricted building with a deadly or dangerous weapon. According to court documents, Casper bragged in a social media message that he, quote, pepper sprayed cops so bad they got undressed and went home. He was also part of a group that broke through a gate and chased police officers down. He will be sentenced in December. Last week, one of Wisconsin's top Republicans announced his intention to create a panel of former state Supreme Court justices to look into impeachment criteria. Republican David Prosser is one of the 3 former justices tapped to be on the panel. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos put the group together as he considers whether to impeach newly sworn-in liberal Justice Janet Protasiewicz. Vos believes Protasiewicz's acceptance of nearly $10 million in campaign funding from the Wisconsin Democratic Party is grounds for her impeachment. However, Prosser himself accepted donations from the Republican Party when he was on the court. Prosser also donated $500 to the conservative candidate who lost to Protasiewicz. The impeachment threat comes after Protasiewicz, when in spring, gave liberals a majority on the court for the first time in 15 years. Wisconsin's GOP-led assembly has passed a sweeping redistricting reform plan. The proposal takes the power of drawing maps out of the hands of lawmakers and gives it to the nonpartisan staff. The idea of handing it over to nonpartisan staff would be to prevent gerrymandering. That's when legislative districts are drawn in a way that favors one party. Currently, Wisconsin is considered to have some of the most gerrymandered districts in the country. While Democrats have been fighting for fairer maps, many are skeptical of the bill. They believe Republicans are using it as a ruse to circumvent the newly liberal-controlled Wisconsin Supreme Court from throwing out the current Republican-drawn maps. The bill still has to pass the Wisconsin Senate and be signed by Governor Tony Evers before becoming law. Governor Evers has called the bill bogus. With the fall-like weather finally bringing in cooler temperatures, it may be time to finally dig your jackets. But with the cooler weather comes an increase in tornado-like waterspouts. Yukari Nakayami gives us a closer look at the strange but potential dangerous weather phenomenon.
Wow.
Seen across the southeast Wisconsin's lakefront, several tornadoes barreling across Lake Michigan. This phenomenon known as a waterspout.
A waterspout is very similar to what we would see as like a tornado on land, but it is over the water.
A whirling column of air and water mist. Taylor Patterson of the National Weather Service Milwaukee Sullivan emphasizes it's a fair weather waterspout rather than a tornadic waterspout, which develops downward.
So you have warm water and you have this very small layer of warm air on the water surface. We have cold air that comes down from Canada, and warm air likes to rise. So when that cold air comes over top of that warm water, it causes that air, the warm air, to quickly rise.
Patterson says these types of waterspouts are common during the August to October months, as Lake Michigan's water is warm. But the unusual part, seeing as many as we did today. She warns boaters these waterspouts are dangerous.
It can overturn boats, it can take boats off course. So when you start to see a waterspout start to form, we encourage mariners to start heading towards a harbor and seeking shelter. And if they're out in the open waters, the rule is to turn your boat and start moving away at a 90-degree angle from the movement of the waterspout.
If these waterspouts were to move on land, the National Weather Service would have issued a tornado warning.
Waterspout activity is more prevalent in the morning. Now here's Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
All right, thanks for that, Michael. Just phenomenal pictures there, some of those water spouts over Lake Michigan. But let's talk about our current temperatures right now. We got 40s and 50s, 50 degrees currently in La Crosse, 52 in Winona, 53 degrees in Eau Claire. Black River Falls are currently at 47, Sparta at 41 degrees here this morning. So a little bit of some colder exceptions depending on where you are. Today's afternoon high 75, very seasonable here today with a few passing clouds, southeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tonight, watching for mostly cloudy skies and also watching for a chance of showers and storms, but I think the majority of those chances are down to the south though. South-southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Your mowing forecast looks picture perfect here today. Going to be looking at 53 degrees at 8 o'clock, warming up to 69, and with lots of sun by noon today, turning mostly sunny at 5 o'clock, temperatures at 74. So very comfortable and a great day to mow the lawn if you haven't had a chance yet so far. But stay tuned. I'll have a final check on your full weather forecast after the break. And also after the break is our Buzz Report. Coming up, Drew Barrymore is stepping back from her decision to resume production on her self-named talk show. News 8 has the details for you in just a few minutes. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, everyone. Partly cloudy conditions here remain from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse, as you can see right there behind me. Temperatures are currently at 50 degrees and southeast winds light at around 5 miles an hour. The Mississippi River Stage currently measuring 4.94 feet and holding steady. Meanwhile, if you're in Eau Claire, 53 degrees, mostly sunny skies. East-southeast winds light at around 6 miles an hour. And temperatures really across the board this morning into the 40s and low 50s. Some colder spots in Sparta right now at 41 degrees. Brokewood now at 50 degrees. Meanwhile, if you're in Winona, you're currently measuring 52. Volkfield reporting 43. Bosque Bell reporting 48 degrees. And overall today, lots of sunshine. In fact, we're going to turn sunny by around noon today. 69 degrees the temperature, mostly sunny, 75 degrees at 4 o'clock, and then we start to increase the clouds a little bit as we head into early on this evening. Forecast high numbers today, very comfortable and seasonable like. Highs around 75 in Eau Claire and La Crosse here today, and the rest of us really into the mid-70s this afternoon as well. Watching a little bit of some patchy fog coming up on the satellite and radar picture there, as you can see some of those gray spots and some partly cloudy conditions mixed in with that as well. All of that activity though should clear out of here as we head to around 11 o'clock later this morning. Taking you into 6 p.m. here this evening, maybe a bit of a southeast wind motion there and a few clouds here moving in as well from the west. Showers and thunderstorms developing mainly down to the south. We'll keep those rain chances mainly for our southern communities there, thanks to that system. And then as we head into tomorrow afternoon, that is pretty much long gone. South winds, partly cloudy conditions, partly to mostly cloudy, that is. And then we start to clear out as we head into tomorrow night. Taking you into Wednesday, I'm watching a bit of a warm front that could move through. That could help warm us up here with our temperatures, also maybe give us a few clouds. But I think for the most part tomorrow, skies are looking mostly sunny along with a south wind, again, behind that warm front to help warm us up into the low 80s as we head into Wednesday through Friday under partly cloudy skies. First day of fall, by the way, Saturday, looking at a chance of showers and thunderstorms this weekend and also into early next week. But again, those highs mainly in the 70s and 80s, lows 50s and low 60s.
In our morning Buzz report, Russell Brand is attempting to fend off allegations of sexual misconduct. Several women have accused the comedian of sexual assault, manipulation, and predatory behavior between 2006 and 2013. The women came forward anonymously to speak to the British Times and Sunday Times newspaper. Brand has denied the accusations. The Forgetting Sarah Marshall star has spoken publicly about his recovery from drug and sex addiction in recent years. Embattled talk show host and actress Drew Barrymore is backing down. The Never Been Kissed star issued an apology to the Writers Guild of America just days after announcing she would resume production on her namesake talk show in spite of the ongoing strike. In a statement, Barrymore expressed her, quote, "deepest apologies to anyone I've hurt." She says that rather than airing new episodes, the Drew Barrymore show will be paused until the strike ends. Is a hit. Guts is debuting atop the Billboard 200 chart. The release makes Rodrigo the first female artist to have her first 2 albums start atop the chart in 9 years. Her first album, Sour, was also a commercial success, breaking the global Spotify record for biggest opening week by a female artist and going on to sell nearly 20 million units. Guts is available on Apple Music and Spotify now.
On August 28th, Black white, young, old, rich, working class, poor will descend on Washington, D.C.
An upcoming movie by Netflix will honor Bayard Rustin, the man who organized the 1968 Civil Rights March on Washington, D.C. Film stars Coleman Domingo, Chris Rock, and Glenn Turman. It's directed by acclaimed playwright and theater director George C. Wolfe. Rustin will debut in select theaters on November 17th. Now, I don't know about you, Derek. Me personally, I've never listened to any of Olivia Rodrigo's music.
Yeah, me either. So that's the first time I've heard that name.
Yeah, and sorry, Dua, we'd also like to apologize here. Not the biggest Taylor Swift fans, I don't think, collectively.
But she does keep us updated, though, on the morning show. So we
Yeah,
want
she
to thank
does.
Dua for that one. But yeah, we'll have to get the latest news from her when she comes back from her vacation tomorrow. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before we head to break, it's time to look at today. Look who's 8.
So we got a bunch of birthdays here to celebrate. We're going to start with Harlow, who is 8. Now, she loves school and is excited to get her new guinea pigs named Packer and Packer.
Kennedy is 8 years old. She loves to play with her little friend and little brother and do gymnastics.
Matthew is turning 8. He loves football, baseball, and going camping.
Hunter and Ella are 8 years old as well. They enjoy boating, playing soccer, and collecting eggs from their chickens.
Adriana is turning 8 too. Now she likes baking, gymnastics, playing games, and wants to be a scientist when she grows up.
Dorothy is 80. Her family says she's thoughtful, caring, and courageous, as well as being a wonderful mother and grandmother.
Well, if you know a special someone that's turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is up next. A man has been arrested in Trumbull County following separate hit-and-run incidents. Police were dispatched to Welcome Bar in Independence at around 2 a.m. Saturday for a hit-and-run. While units responded, other calls came in that the person who allegedly committed the crime returned to the scene and hit a person in the roadway before fleeing again. That's according to a release from the Trumbull County Sheriff's Office. Callers also told law enforcement that the person came back a third time, this time with a gun. Deputies were able to arrest the man, but they didn't find a gun. 2 people were sent to the hospital to treat injuries. The incident is still under further investigation. Crawford County is now under a special fire order due to drought conditions. That's according to the Wisconsin DNR. A burn permit is now required for burning in a barrel, debris pile, as well as grassy and wooded areas, unless the ground is fully covered in snow. The DNR says the decision was made based on the lengthy extreme drought conditions in the area. The order goes into effect beginning today. Crawford County residents can apply for a permit online. We'll post a link on our website, news8000.com. Oktoberfest is only a couple of weeks away, and 2023's Miss Oktoberfest has been revealed. Regina Segal has selected for the title this year. The wife of the La Crosse County Sheriff and a former Emerson Elementary School principal, Siegel learned she would be given the title back in April. Her focus is be kind always, a philosophy she says she learned as a child. She explained what she's looking forward to this year.
There's not a single part of Oktoberfest that I don't love. I love watching the food eating contest. I love watching the different games that we do, the Lederhosen games and all of those pieces. I love the merriment. I love the festivities.
Oktoberfest begins Thursday, September 28 at the Fest Grounds on the waterfront. A local distillery is celebrating a milestone. La Crosse Distilling Company celebrated 5 years of business this weekend. To commemorate the anniversary, the distillery released its Bluffside Apple Brandy. It took owner Nick Weber 5 years to first get the distillery up and running. After seeing the trends in breweries and what small organic farmers do, Weber decided to open one. It's the first distillery in La Crosse. The distillery also has a restaurant, but marketing director Angie Weber says it's the spirits they make that have brought them their success.
A large part of why we've lasted 5 years is also it's not just the restaurant tasting room part of our business, it's the distillery. Obviously, people in the La Crosse area come down to the distillery to enjoy food and drinks, but we are celebrating our 5-year anniversary in large part because of our distilling business.
Weber and her husband aren't slowing down. The couple is looking into exporting their spirits. Happening today, celebrating Hispanic history in Wisconsin. From 8 to 10 this morning, UWL professor Victor Gonzalez will present Wisconsin's Latino past and present. The lecture covers the history of Latinos in the state and issues they are currently facing. The talk is a part of UWL's celebration of National Hispanic Heritage Month, which runs from September 15th to October 15th. The event is free and open to the public. It will be held in the Bluffs Room at UWL's Student Union.
And as you head out the door this morning, temperatures are going to be warming up into the 50s between the 7 and 9 o'clock hour here this morning under mostly sunny skies. And speaking of mostly sunny skies, that's pretty much in the forecast all day long today. Highs into the mid-70s come later this afternoon, making a very seasonal day today. As far as your 8-day forecast goes, a little cloudier for tomorrow, high of 77. Warmer, though, Wednesday through Friday of this week. Partly cloudy skies with highs in the low 80s. I am watching, though, for a chance of showers and thunderstorms come this weekend and also into early next week. And by the way, that first official day of the fall season starts on Saturday.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day on news8000.com, and we'll have the latest updates to today's top stories on News 8 Now at noon. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tonight. Have a great rest of your day.